about when you decided?
Probably a year ago. I wanted one more kick at the can, kind of. Being 65 years old, and here I am, 66. I keep getting these things from AARP and wondering what the heck this is for. But finally, it's going to happen. I don't know if I'll totally get out of hockey. I might be coaching my grandkids or having fun somewhere with it. But certainly, I felt that it was the time. And people always kept saying that when it's time to step down, you'll know it. And I think I knew it. And I talked to Trev this morning. I said, Trev, the only thing that is going to bother me is that I know I can still coach and I still have that burning desire and hate to lose. He said, you're going to have that until you're 80, 90 years old. You might not ever lose it. And here's the Butkus Award winner telling me that he still has that as an athletic director. So I'm not expecting anything different out of my next 20 or 30 years, or however long I live, is the challenge that's there. I'll always be ready for it.
Big disappointment not to get
That
there.
was huge. It was really, it's not the reason that I stepped down, but it was a factor. I was so disappointed because we talked about getting to the finals down at the Target Center. We talked about if that happens in the pairwise, we can still gain enough pairwise points to get an NCAA bid, and then you get there, anything can happen. Like the year we got to the Frozen Four, it's harder during the year to qualify for these tournaments than it is actually getting there or winning. And especially the league that we're in, I wouldn't be surprised if all four teams in the NCHC get number one seeds and all four make it to the Frozen Four. That's how good this league is. So we were right there with Western Michigan. We were right there in Baxter Arena a couple weeks ago with Denver in a 2-2 game, and lost it on a 5-on-3 call against us. Now, whether we would have won that game or not, but Denver is the number one team in the country. They've won like 13 straight games, could win the Frozen Four, might get knocked off along the way, but I think the program's in great hands right now. Omaha expects to win. The community of Omaha expects to win. So when I took over, that wasn't the case. It was play hard and see what happens. And with recruiting and the Baxter Arena now, this is our home, and the community expects us to win.
So, coach, is this
I'm not calling it a retirement because that insinuates that I'm old. I don't feel old. I felt that it was just time to step down. Obviously, it was real emotional saying goodbye to the team. It was another step of emotion when the players came in and said goodbye one to one. That just kind of broke me up. I mean, because I'm not the most lovey-feely guy when I'm coaching. It's totally the opposite. But when they came in and one by one and thanked me for either their year or 4 years, it was a tough deal, tougher than what I certainly expected.
where that was today?
Just now,
Just now.
just now, and Trev and Mike Kemp, I had the whole staff leave the room, and they got to talk about whoever the next coach is going to be in here, and Trev and Kemper answered questions for close to an hour. I was thinking, 5 minutes. So the players had real good dialogue with Trev Alberts and Mike Kemp, and kind of a good way to have some input in what they're concerned about for the future of UNO hockey.
Dean, when you look back?
Yeah, certainly to go from the leagues that we've gone in and be real competitive in the 8 years from the CCHA to the WCHA to the NCHC has been real rewarding, because now we're in with coaches that are NHL type coaches, and you used to be able to coach against maybe coaches that weren't as prepared or not as experienced. Now with the league that we're in, there's no such thing. So right away we established the NCHC as the premier league, not only for players, for coaches, administrators, and everyone's going in the right direction. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the future, because every other league is trying to be what we are already. So it's tough. It's a grind. The winning is super, super exciting. The losing is the same and devastating. So it's maybe built for a younger guy. The bright spots, I would say, certainly the Baxter Arena, but that's not mine. That's a whole lot of people. It starts with probably John Christensen and Trev Albertson Kemper doing all the detail type stuff and the politics of it all. But certainly to fill it is the real key. That's what I take pride in. People want to see us play. We're right behind North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, and that's just bigger buildings. So hopefully we keep that ticket at a premium and can stay at fourth in the country, because we recruit to that too. Come to Omaha. You're going to get good coaching, get a great education. I'm proud that when I took over, the grade point average, if it was a 3.0, it was a real celebration. Now it's up into the 3.5 area, and it's not me. It's just it's a great school. And I would, if it was a 3.0 or less, I would get maybe the blame for it, and I'm not taking the I guess the credit for it being so high, but it is. The players are graduating. Kirk Thompson graduated in 3 years, and he's going to get his master's degrees in 2 more. So proud of the players and proud of the community of Omaha. There's not really one thing. You always look back, like you asked, is we had so much success. I'm just going back 2 years of rotating lineups from Friday night to Saturday night. So here we are in Western Michigan with a lineup, and I stayed with the same lineup on Saturday and lost. I was considering doing what we've done in 2 years, having the best record in NCAA in 2 years, rotating the lineup in non-conference, only losing 2 games. Yeah, so I look back, should have probably changed the lineup from Friday night to Saturday night. And that's what coaches do. You don't blame the players, you blame yourself a lot for different things. But I was prepared in that game on Sunday to pull goaltenders, try different line combinations, do whatever it took to try to win that game on Sunday in Game 3 against the 4th best team in the country. Wouldn't have changed a whole lot because the players are playing that way. I haven't had a team that has improved so much in the last 2 months of the year. We were giving up 40 to 50 shots a game, winning some, losing some. The goaltenders had to be, superheroes in there. And then the last month of the season, playing the best teams in the country and outshooting some of those teams. Not advancing to this tournament this weekend is obviously disappointing. Not getting the NCAA bid is disappointing. But isn't it funny that the community of Omaha is expecting that? That's what I think I've helped create. You better win. I set the table for you. You better win. No, we had 4 seniors last year, and we've only got 3 this year. In the next long time, 10 years, we're going to have at least 5 to 8, depending on the year, seniors, and you're led by your seniors, and it's hard for 3 seniors to lead the whole crew. This year they did. They played like there were 6 of them, so I was really happy with all 3 seniors. Not only having big years like Austin Ortega being on that all-conference team in the best league in the country, that's something special. We haven't had many over the course of our 20 years be on that first team, whether it was CCHA, WCHA, or the NCHC. A player like Jake Genzel would have been our other senior this year, scoring 11 goals in the NHL for the Penguins, and Crosby and Malkin want to play with him. That's special to me, and we had a great year without him. It makes you wonder what we would have been like with him. But then other players stepped up. Players had real good years because they knew that we didn't have Jake Genzel. So that's special too, and just the way they competed every game. And you could tell they were mentally prepared. And the most devastating thing that I've seen is that in the locker room on Sunday is 27 brothers hugging and crying. That was a sad thing. I sat in the locker room and in the showers pretending I wasn't there and witnessed it. It was a real emotional thing that these guys brought forth. They put everything on the line. They cared so much. That's really special. You hear it. You hear Creighton getting, you know, their men and women to the basketball NCAA special. We wanted that. We were right there. I think Trev is going to open it up nationally to see who applies. He's always been interested in what kind of candidates out there. I believe that Mike Gabinet would be a perfect fit for UNO, an alumni. A lot of experience, obviously, coaching Nate to a national championship the year before he came here. Players really respect him and like him. At North Dakota, when I left, Dave Haxtell I stood right like it is right now and said, I think Dave Haxtell should get the job. There was no other interviews. They hired Dave the next day. That was a little bit different because we'd won 30 games a year for 5 years, won national championships, and Dave was my assistant coach, the head assistant coach, and it was a natural that he took over. He played there. He was an alumni, and perfect fit. And he did a great job, and he's with the Philadelphia Flyers right now. And then Brad Berry took over right after him and won the national championship his first year. Omaha's got the same credentials coming up in the future. I appreciate the media in Omaha, and you guys coming here every week at 11 o'clock too. Yeah, I watch you guys every night. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.